So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. And tonight I'm joined by Tara from the band Tarah Who. And Tara is people, she's not driving,
I'm not
she's a
driving.
passenger.
Yeah,
So, Tara, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. So I listened to the to your newer album, The Last Chance, which came out back in September 20th. So it's been like a week and a month of the release. And it's interesting because it's I when I listen to the album, I get like that pure like rock and roll by like Joan Jett type of rock
Oh,
attitude. Yeah, yeah, which is I don't know what you were going for, but for people that probably don't know, and you know, you guys are an independent band. Tell me a little bit about the history of Tarahu.
oof. Well, I started as a singer-songwriter, and then as years went by, I just started playing with musicians. I wanted to be more rock than acoustic, and just because of my musical influences as well, it was just a more full rock and roll sound I was looking for. And so, I just write with the feelings. I don't really go for specific genres of music. That's why, you can hear some influences from rock, punk, grunge, sometimes metal, but it's more an emotion and a message I'm trying to convey rather than trying to fit in one category.
No, yeah, and that's good. That's what you get. That's what I got when I was listening to the record. So, if like which artists influenced your playing when you were growing up, started getting into music?
Well, the very beginning was Alanis Morissette, and then I discovered more um, bands that had a little bit more, rock and roll, and I just like fast paced, so I was really into the early stages of the Foo Fighters and Motorhead, and then I discovered Tool, and then I was kind of
Oh,
like looking for,
I'm wearing my
oh,
Tool shirt.
there you go. And then I got into the Riot Girl era. So, Bikini Kill and then Joan Jett and L7 would really blew my mind at the time. Because, the thing is, when I started writing music, um, when you tell the producer that you love Alanis Morissette, they think that you want to sound like who your influence is like. But I never wanted to do anything like that. I've always wanted more something like the Distillers, just something more just faster,
Yeah.
and then when I was writing and I heard the sound of L7 was really when it hit me that girls can do it too. And Juliette Lewis and Garbage and all of them. So yeah, all that era. And I think that's why it still sounds like, grunge these days. It's just
Oh
what I
yeah, I
grew up with.
remember L7. L7 were revolutionary when they came out, and you know they had the attitude. Obviously, a lot of people will remember the tampon incident, but there's more to them, and they're still putting out music,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. So yeah, I got the you know it's got that attitude, but it also has some songs that I think have more of a accessibility to it. So you try to do like a mixture of everything that you like to make the sound of Tarah Who. Why did you name the band Tarah Who and with the like in that way?
That when I started doing my own thing, my own part, because I started as a drummer and a bass player in different bands, but then it, I needed to say more, and that's why I started like teaching myself the guitar and then writing songs. And when I started playing shows as a band, I was looking for a band name, and I just honestly couldn't think of anything. Everything that I suggested to my bandmates at the time, they were like, "Yeah." And so we're like, okay, well, let's just do those shows as Tarah Who, and then
Mhm.
pretty good shows. And then we kept getting shows booked, and you know, it's been over 20 years, and you know, I'm just not changing the name. I never
Yeah,
found a better name, I guess.
nice. So you have an upcoming movie too that's going to be out. Tell me about the movie.
Yes, it's a documentary directed and honestly just made by Brian Downey, who's a photographer I met in Paris at a show. And and honestly, it started just because I said one day during a photo shoot, like, gosh, I would love to be able to tell the story of an independent band and what it is to be a woman in rock, and really like expose what musicians go through. And he's like, I'll do it. Okay. And the craziest thing is that he's not at all a videographer, but he's so good at it. And um and and he gets it. And what I like too is I don't tell him anything. I don't tell him what to talk about. he it's all his perspective as we're spending time together. So he came to a few shows just to get some um, videos of the shows. And
Mhm.
as we're spending time together, there are stories that come out naturally, and he captures that. And so it's a very um, natural video that is actually really beautiful because he's got great videography and technique just because of his photography. And so it turns out to be something a little bit bigger than what we expected, to be honest. And we're just trying something. It's a story he's telling from his perspective of what I'm telling him that happened throughout the years and the experiences I've had as an independent band
Yeah. So, no, I saw the
and as a
trailer,
woman.
and yeah, it looks like it's very vulnerable and real. How do you feel about putting that side, putting because something very personal out there for the world to see.
That's what I live for, honesty.
Mhm.
And the thing is, all these documentaries because I love watching documentaries, and especially music
Me too.
documentaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's all about being honest and putting ourselves out there. So I was telling him, like, if we get into a fight, get it. Like, don't be like, you know like, whatever comes out, of course we can edit because we don't want whatever. But the thing is, it's also like the authenticity of, like, this is what it is touring. Like, it's not all, like, it's not glamorous. We're not, you know the money we make is not amazing.
Mhm.
So, like, this is what we want to expose. Because a lot of people don't even know, when we're at the merch, we're doing our own merch. We're doing everything. We're on roadies and everything. And, a lot of people come up to the merch table, like, you know, assuming, that we have a lot of people doing all of this, but we do it all. People think that we have a manager. I do it all. You know what I mean? And people are always surprised about that. So that's what we want to expose in this documentary. And
No,
and it's not just us; it's
mhm.
all independent bands.
No, yeah, no. Not every band can be Metallica and hire a professional psychiatrist and do a documentary about that.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. I remember that documentary, and I don't know. I thought it was kind of lame that they had to hire this guy to talk about their feelings. So you also shot with Brian the a 15-minute video that's on YouTube that is of the making of your last album, and you recorded this album in Spain. It was it a week that you spent in La Casa Murada, right?
yes. So we actually did it in two sessions. Initially, it was going to be an EP, and that we recorded in Lisbon. And then I think I got a little too inspired. And then I was like, Elaine, I've got more songs. Should we do two EPs or should we do one full album? He's like, let's just do an album. And then we found some time. We're both touring, work was trying to fit in.
Yeah. So
Great studio in
how
Spain. Oh,
how was that experience in Spain, recording over there?
It was amazing. It was, I mean, first of all, I'm a big, huge fan of Spain. So when you tell me let's go to Spain, I will never say no. And yeah, I mean, it was a house, and the studio was in the house. So it was great. We all got to spend some good time together, good meals, and it was so the vibe was so chill and nice that actually the work went really fast. It was the same. It was the same in Lisbon. Like there was something with working with Alain that was just so um, genuine and so relaxed that I was able to give um, give it all really quickly. He made me feel
Yeah, it
comfortable
was
right
produced
away.
by Alain Johannes.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw he looks pretty chill in the video. Like when he's yeah. What
Yeah.
other bands has he worked on?
Other bands like Queens of the Stone Age and
Yeah, because
11.
I've heard,
It was for yeah. Uh, them Crooked Vultures, Chris
ooh,
Cornell. Um, yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's a
yeah,
good producer to have.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that was one thing that was pretty interesting too, because initially when I started writing, I wanted I was looking for a new producer, and I was looking for a female producer, and then
Okay.
as I was writing, the sounds that were coming in my head, and as I was making the demos too, I was like, wait a minute, no, this needs to be Alain Johannes. Like this is right down his alley. He will understand that. And so when I reached out to him, I didn't know he was gonna respond, and he did, and he liked the songs, and he liked the project, and honestly, we just when we first met in Lisbon, it was like we knew each other. Like there was we just connected, you know, and yeah, no regrets, obviously.
No, no, of course not. So yeah, you never know. There's no harm in trying. What's the word that he could have said? Like no, but he said yes.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, he said yes to record. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the album. So yeah, the album, it's pretty rocking album. It's had some different type of tracks. It almost feels like there's like a concept of the album, but it's fun at the same time because it starts like in an intro and then you go into safe zone. Is there like a theme, like a running theme for this record?
So I never write albums with a theme, but
Mhm.
there must be one unconsciously, because you're not the only one who has said that. But it's always, the songs that I write are always so personal, and it's either like emotions, that I
Mhm.
that I that I feel, or it's whatever's going on in the world. So a little bit more general, but it's still like the way I feel about what's going on. Or it's the music industry. There are a lot of songs about the music industry and my little fight against the music industry. So that's why the album cover um, is related to all of this, and was made by this lady right there, Angie.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm going to show the album artwork soon, so we can
Yeah.
talk about the artwork. Since you mentioned it, let's show it now. I'll
Okay.
show the I'll show the oh now I can find the artwork. Give me 1 second. So tell me a little bit because there's different tracks on here. While I get the artwork. So I like the song "Never Say Never," but I thought I was very interested with the song "Do You Believe in Santa Claus?" And it
Sure.
has an E for explicit. Tell me the story behind that track.
uh, okay. Well, okay. This was kind of like a pissed off song,
Mhm.
which is funny because again, this one kind of gets a little bit more attention than I was expecting. Yeah, no, it's I was just a little bit pissed off of like about something that someone had told me about you know in relation to the music industry again, and someone I said, hey, I don't believe in Santa Claus, and basically, a lot of things happened since then, and it's kind of like a little, well, do you believe in Santa Claus now? It's kind of like that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's just my
Well,
little,
it stands out because of the title. So
yeah.
so that's why I'm like, yeah, I gotta
And
ask.
and I thought it was funny. I thought it would be funny that if someone was looking for a Christmas song, that they would, you know, find this song that has nothing to do with Santa Claus or Christmas. That's just my, yeah, sense of humor, I guess.
Yes. People will be like, this is not a song about
This is not a
Christmas.
Christmas song.
Well, I don't know. Here in Puerto Rico, Christmas songs are about drinking.
Oh, really?
Yes, the United States has the most boring Christmas songs. They're all like the Rudolph, but the Puerto Rican songs are all about going to people's houses, because
Uh-huh.
we have something in Puerto Rico here in Christmas time that is, you go to people's house. It's called a parranda. So you go to a friend's house. You start in a house. Then you go and you sing and you're like, open up. We're here to eat your food, drink your stuff.
Oh,
So, so you're supposed to have food. So you open it and then you eat everything. And then the person from the house says, hey, let's go to another house. And you keep doing that all night.
I like that. I like that.
Yes.
I did go to Puerto Rico,
Mm,
and I really
nice.
enjoyed yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So,
Delicious.
but in Christmas time, it's it's really fun. And the songs. So yeah, it's fun and it's hot. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I found here's the so you this is in the Facebook page. So I'm going to highlight. Here's the cover more. Here it
Yes,
is. The
that is the
last
cover.
chance. Tell me a little bit about the cover because obviously you have the shark in the suits.
Yeah. So I was telling Angie, I don't know if you can see Angie here, but basically, oops. I was
Oh, no
telling
worries.
her,
I'm here.
okay, okay. Um, so the picture is actually, so Brian was there to at the recording session, and
Mhm.
I was looking into making this pose, um, because I love muscle cars, so I wanted to fight the music industry on a muscle car, and then we wanted something really colorful, right, Angie? Yeah. And she was like, "How about this?" I was like, "Yes, that works." And yeah, so we're fighting all of those
Yeah.
sharks.
Well, there's one that's not a shark. What's the one that's not a shark? Because there's one with a red hair.
The dinosaur?
Ah, okay.
It's a vulture. It's a vulture.
Ah, it's a vulture. Yes. It looks cool. And I forgive you for booing me for for, for the Puerto Rican Christmas songs.
Oh no,
Uh,
no, no, it's not that. It's the boo was because there were Trump people, and
oh, I thought they were
so
booing me. I'm like, why are you booing drinking?
no,
And oh,
no, no, no,
okay,
no.
then I
It's so
support. I
this is
support
my
if you're
wife.
booing the Trump people.
Yeah, so this is my wife,
Ah,
and
nice. Thank you for
and
booing Trump because when he came
and
to Puerto Rico, he
yeah.
threw bounty papers at us after the hurricane.
Wow. We just heard what happened to how they insulted Puerto Rico, and that's just
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah, but man,
Yeah.
yes,
So yeah. So that's why my wife was booing Trump people right now
yes.
who were
I thought
doing
I'm
something.
like, why is she booing the Christmas
Yeah,
drinking?
he thought you were booing what he was saying.
No,
No.
good thing. I boo the same guy as you. Like,
All right.
I'm not in the States. If not, I would vote against him. But I'm here in Puerto Rico. But yeah, so no, it's pretty cool. There's pretty cool tracks in it. And do you have a favorite right now from the record?
Um, I mean, it's always hard for me to answer that question because they're all kind of like my babies. But
Mm.
I do love how Grown Up has come out. I really yeah. Grown Up would be my favorite one, and it's fun to play. They're all fun to play live, actually. But I love playing Army of Women live because people usually get really into it, and because of the message being so strong too. I usually kind of play with that, especially this whole tour that we did with the Exploited, in states like Florida, or I was just like, okay, don't forget to vote, and then I'm like, and this next song is called Army of Women, and then I start
Okay.
playing this song, and then I see like heads going like this, and then after the shows, women come up and they're like, "Don't worry, I'm voting for her," and I'm like,
Okay. Yeah.
"Yay!" Yeah.
Nice.
So
So
yeah,
yeah, no, voting is important. Here in Puerto Rico, we have to vote. Like we have two parties that have been in power for 55 years. So there's another alliance party that, there's no corruption. So we need to vote to get those two parties out so we can prosper
yeah.
as a nation. Yeah, so it's very important. I'm glad I'm here because I used to live in Florida, in Miami,
Okay. Yeah.
which I hated. I didn't like Miami. The only
Okay.
thing I liked is that I saw some cool concerts there. Like I saw Tool in
Okay.
Miami. That was a
Nice.
great concert, but yeah. And also I got to see the Smashing Pumpkins. So I got to see bands
Oh,
that
nice.
never come here to Puerto Rico. But
Okay.
thankfully soon we have Stone Temple Pilots coming here. So I'm going to that one soon. Yeah. So that should be cool. So yeah, so the album is out already. Where can people do you have physical copies that people can buy the album?
Yes. So we're doing it independently. So it's
Mhm.
on the website. So it's tarahwho.com. And then if you buy a vinyl or a CD or a T-shirt, I will personally go to the post office and mail it out for you. Write you a nice note, and you will be supporting the band, and I will be very grateful.
Yeah, I'll post the link for people who want to buy the album physically. So I would recommend this to people who like pure like energetic rock and roll because it's
Yeah.
got like that energy to it. And the
And
movie, when is it coming out? The documentary?
2025. And just a quick note about like the physical
Mhm,
copies too. It's just that what we did with Brian and Angie is that
mhm.
just to make it, because a little bit of nostalgia from the CDs, because that was my time.
Hey,
I loved.
it's my time too. We don't have to age ourselves, but I remember CDs too.
Yeah, and I love buying CDs and reading every single thing on it, and so we always work on the physical copies so that they're you're happy to hold it in your hand. You can read something, you read the lyrics, the thank yous, and you have some really nice photos from Brian as well, and so it's a little bit more like a gift rather than just the digital where you just listen to the song. So it's just a little something. You're supporting the band in a different way, and you get something, and I can sign it before I send it in. So
Yeah. Plus, you get to read the lyrics. I love when I bought
yeah,
a fresh CD and you open it and you smell it and then you read the lyrics, which was the
yeah,
fun part.
old school, yeah,
Except when you got pissed because back in the day they did sometimes like I remember Nirvana Nevermind and Smashing Pumpkins Siamese Dream didn't have all the lyrics. They just had snippets of lyrics. And you're like, damn it, you and back then, kids, there was no internet to check the lyrics in the internet. So you had like just like parts of songs.
oh
Uh
really,
yeah, at least in those two albums. They
okay.
just took, I don't know if they did it just to piss you off or so they would be like a little bit more mysterious, but now you can get all those lyrics. So right, what are you guys playing shows soon? Like what's next for Tarah Who?
uh right now I'm going to focus on continuing the promotion of the album
Mhm.
and the movie. We're just going to focus on finishing that. And then, if anything comes up for any tours, I do have a couple of tours in mind and festivals, but right now, nothing like that. we're just focused on the movie.
Okay, yeah. So that check Couchers, that's coming out in 2025. But the album, The Last Chance, is out now. You
Yes.
can order it, you can listen to it and check it out for yourself. So, and I want to thank you, Tara, of your bandmates, everyone, for taking some time to chat with me. And it's good that you're not driving. I've had a
Yes.
few driving interviews, and I'm like kind of scared of like, what if something happens? And the last recorded thing is that he was talking to me. I'm like, no, please. I did have one interview that almost at the end, the guy had to get up and go pee. And
Oh
I'm
my
like, thank
gosh.
you. I'm like, thank you for sharing that with me. Now I have to edit this music, this interview. So, Tara, before I let you go, anything you like to say to the fans before we go?
No, really, just thank you for having me and for listening and supporting music and live music and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So you heard it here. The Tarah Who album is out now. The documentary will be out next year. So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the shield dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.